All right. Hi, everybody. It's so good to be here with you all. As you all know, this is the National Coalition for Dialogue and Deliberation's 20th anniversary celebration. It's amazing to say that. I am Courtney Brees, NCDD's Executive Director, and I am going to be co-emceeing tonight's event along with our fabulous board chair, Lori Britz. If you don't know Lori, Lori is co-director for the Institute for Constructive Advocacy and Dialogue, as well as a professor at James Madison University. Before we get into the bulk of things, just want to remind folks, mute yourselves. You should be coming in muted automatically, but please feel free to mute yourself if you're not already, just to reduce some of that background noise. We will use the chat, so if you want to keep that chat open during the event, that would be great. And I think that's about it. Otherwise, like I said, to those who have already been in the room for a couple minutes, we're kind of playing with some new stuff here in terms of having some folks live in person at the National Communication Association's annual convention. So it's a fun little experiment, but it's just that, an experiment. So be kind if there's any hiccups. Okay, enough about the housekeeping.
One last thing, we suggest that those viewing on Zoom set your view to side by side, because we're going to have a lot of video elements, and that way you'll see the speaker and the video. So if that helps, set it for side by side view.
Excellent. Thanks, Lori. All right. So during today's event, we are going to focus on 4 R's: reflecting, recommitting, renewing, and reconnecting. These 4 R's are going to be a thematic element of NCDD's work over the next year as NCDD looks back at our 20-year history and brings the network together to advance our practices for the future.
As we reflect on 20 years as a community of practice, NCDD is also happy to have connected so many people in this room, the people on this call, and many, many more. We've also helped to make sense of the broad array of practices that exist and advocated for productive talk that strengthens families, organizations, communities, and in a small way, our world. We'll start out by reflecting a bit on our history. A number of members have shared brief remarks with us for this event. So to kick us off, we have a brief message from someone who's also on the call, Sandy Heyerbacher, NCDD's co-founder and longtime director.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sandy Heyerbacher. I founded NCDD back in 2002 with my partner at the time, Andy Fluke. I had a passion for dialogue as a means to help people come together across differences, racial and political differences in particular, in order to tackle our country's most pressing problems. We had seen that practitioners of dialogue and deliberation were scattered all across the country and doing the most amazing work. Though they shared many of the same challenges, they were largely disconnected from each other and didn't even know about each other. In order to see what would happen when we brought these practitioners together, we organized the first National Conference on Dialogue and Deliberation. So many people we talked to ended up coming forward to help, and we ended up working with 60 volunteers and 50 endorsing organizations, all of whom were pioneers in this emerging field. NCDD was born out of this conference, as was our tradition of hosting highly participatory events with the support of large numbers of volunteers and organizations. I was the director of NCDD for 16 years and left the coalition in the hands of its new director, Courtney Brees, with confidence. I've moved on to other things, but I have such fond memories of the incredible people who are drawn to this work. NCDD members are some of the smartest, kindest, and most generous people I've ever encountered. I really miss you guys. Happy 20th anniversary, NCDD.
Thanks, Sandy. Glad to have you on the call. As Sandy mentioned, the NCDD network is made up of some of the best and brightest people, and we have been able to create so much together over the years. Let's take a look back at our history and look forward to the future.
The National Coalition for Dialogue and Deliberation was formed in 2002 to bring together and support people, organizations, and resources in ways that expand the power of discussion to benefit society. Following the first National Conference on Dialogue and Deliberation, held in Washington, D.C. in October 2002, the 50 members of the conference coalition decided to become the inaugural members of NCDD, which now includes 700 individual and organizational members. Throughout the network's history, NCDD has served as a gathering place, a resource center, a news source, and a facilitative leader for this vital community of practice. Over 3,000 people across the United States and the world have gathered together at NCDD's cornerstone event, the National Conference on Dialogue and Deliberation. These innovative and engaging conferences have been many people's first experience with our vibrant network. Each conference is unique and created by a dedicated team of staff and volunteers. The second centerpiece of NCDD's work has been the curation of the ncdd.org website, including a wealth of resources and the latest news related to dialogue, deliberation, and public engagement. The NCDD website has been a helpful hub for people new to these practices, as well as seasoned practitioners and organizations. NCDD's amazing network has also created materials and resources collaboratively to help navigate the many practices and methods utilized across the network. The core principles for public engagement and the engagement streams framework are just two of these amazing resources. Hundreds of people have shared their work, technologies, learnings, and more through NCDD's Confab calls, Tech Tuesdays, and other remote events over the years. Since our founding, NCDD has been a network of members. Today, NCDD boasts a membership of 700 individuals and organizations committed to helping communities come together to discuss, decide, and take action on the issues that matter most. NCDD is a big umbrella under which many different fields and disciplines sit. This includes people working in areas such as public engagement, bridging work, grassroots community building, deep dialogue, education, organizational development, conflict resolution and restorative justice, technology for engagement, and more. NCDD is renewing our mission to create a community for those committed to shared exploration of dialogue and deliberation as a means to improve lives, enhance public and organizational life, and strengthen democracy. We model and champion what our members seek to shape in the world, demonstrating what's possible when we come together in ways that commit to honoring voices, experiences, and perspectives. We support and learn from the work of our members to help people come together with purpose across divides and differences to uncover ways forward to impact lives positively, improve communities, and transform challenges into possibilities. We will continue to be a convener of interactive and engaging events, including our conferences, webinars, and other gatherings. We will be a connector of people, organizations, and efforts through improved tools for networking and by raising NCDD and our members' profiles. We will also continue to create and curate resources that help people and practitioners navigate the world of dialogue, deliberation, and public engagement, with an emphasis on making these practices accessible, inclusive, and equitable. And we will renew our purpose as a facilitative leader for this community by convening conversations that matter, to explore ways we can continue to improve our practices, develop new innovations, and broaden the reach and impact of dialogue and deliberation in our communities, nations, and world. As NCDD renews our commitment to this vibrant community of practice, we ask that you also make an effort to connect with us. Check out our website, join in our events, and consider joining or renewing your membership. Our community is stronger with you in it, and we can achieve so much more together than we can on our own. Learn more about NCDD and opportunities to participate in this network at ncdd.org/join.
I hope that was a fun little walk down memory lane for many of you. And I have to note that I think most of the folks who are on this call are in at least one of those photos that are from the full 20 years of NCDD's history, starting with our first conference. So NCDD started with a small coalition who saw how important and powerful it can be when we come together in community. One of our early coalition members was Dr. David Kampt, founder of the Dialogue Company and creator of the White Ally Toolkit. David has been kind enough to share some memories with us, as well as a bit of a call to action. So we're going to hear from David now.
Hi, my name is Dr. David Campt, and I would like to offer a couple of memories of NCDD. I first came across this idea before the organization got started. I worked for the White House for the President's Initiative on Race, and a young woman named Sandy Heyerbacher came by to talk about the possibility of this network. And I thought it was a fantastic idea for people committed to dialogue to get together and try to join their forces and increase their power. So I was totally supportive of that, even though the White House, of course, couldn't do anything to help it. But I supported that. And then that was in 1998, I believe. A couple years later was the first big conference. It happened to be at a time where the DC sniper was around. So we gathered in, I believe, Arlington, but all under the hyper concern that we were going to be shot while walking into the hotel. So that was nervous making. It was a conference. It was a substantial accomplishment to have that. And I remember being at a table with a bunch of people, a small group table, talking about the presence of essentially not enough conservatives at this event, and people. I was with Theo Brown and Joe Goldman, and we argued about whether that was true. People, no, we got a lot of conservatives here. There's a decent amount. And I remember Theo Brown saying, "Well, I think it's about 90% liberal." And so it turned out that what Joe Goldman did, after hearing that conversation, was to put up a polling question in the plenary session, and it turned out it was 90% Gore voters, 4% Bush voters, and 6% Native voters. So Theo was more right than we thought. And that issue, which is how we get more people from different sides, has been a continual struggle. And I think that we need to embrace that struggle and be more aggressive, because this organization has a lot of potential power. And so I just want to appreciate all those involved for all these years in trying their level best to push this organization forward, to push this movement forward. I ultimately think in a time of hyperpolarization and even the threats of political violence, people committed to trying to spread ideas of talking. And we know more now about what best practices are in talking, but we have not figured out collectively how to spread that. And so I just want to express my support for increased efforts to try to grow this vital organization. Congratulations to NCDD for hanging around this long, for Sandy, Courtney, and all those involved over the years. Thank you for doing what you're doing, and let us recommit ourselves to trying to work collectively to push humanity in the direction of greater cooperation and dialogue, because it is so important for our collective survival. Congratulations, and let's keep moving forward.
So much appreciation to David for sharing those thoughts with us. I can see in the chat that folks are either reacting to some of those memories or remembering some of those memories. I know whenever we get to conference time, the story of 2002 tends to come up amongst folks. So we appreciate him remembering that, and also challenging us as always to continue moving forward and finding ways we can work together. So thanks, David. Next, we are going to hear from Shannon Hartman of the Interactivity Foundation, who has put together a brief message on behalf of IF for us.
Hey, NCDD, this is Shannon Hartman from the Interactivity Foundation, and we want to say congratulations to 20 years. We are big fans. We at the Interactivity Foundation have been part of the NCDD community for almost 15 years. And we know that it's people like you listening to this video right now, who have made the NCDD such a wonderful space for connection and learning. For us, the NCDD has been a really special space to share ideas and to learn from experiences of others. Over the years, we've done this through monthly check-ins, Tech Tuesdays, springboards, a wealth of online resources from you directly on the listserv, as well as in-person conferences. And whether it's in person or online, the NCDD has offered us the opportunity to learn from a larger dialogue and deliberation community. And we have learned that our process, which is small group exploratory discussion, fits within a broader community of work. And we've learned how to continue to fine-tune and distinguish our work through discussing best practices with scholars and practitioners like you. So without the NCDD, I really think our sector could go adrift. All of us navigating this big sea alone. The NCDD has been our lighthouse. It brings us all together to do the real and the important work of dialogue and deliberation. I think in these times, we all know that this work is far from done, and it matters now more than ever. We have to continue to engage. We have to learn from one another, and we have to figure out our best practices for shoring up democracy. We can all agree that citizen-led decision-making and empowerment are at the core of our work. And figuring out how to improve and leverage our collective efforts is going to be essential for protecting democracy. So we, the NCDD, are part of a larger pro-democracy movement, and we have been for 20 years. And I want to say congratulations. Congratulations to you and your work. Congratulations to our tireless leadership. Thank you. And congratulations to all of us, because we are the NCDD. And now we all need to engage more than ever to support this community. And that means pitching in and showing up. So I hope you join the Interactivity Foundation in our reinvesting in the NCDD community and help us to support this infrastructure and programming that we all can use to help our organizations do the real work of building democracy and building a better society that we all want to live in together. So I hope to see you all soon, and fingers crossed in person. And I hope you're all well, and congratulations again, NCDD, for 20 years of fantastic work. Thank you.
Thank you to Shannon for her kind words, and to the Interactivity Foundation for stepping up as NCDD's first sustaining partner, helping us launch into the next 20 years with their generous support. Partners are a new level of membership that we're just rolling out now. For those who are able to provide that added level of financial support to NCDD, and as well will receive an added level of recognition from NCDD for these efforts. As you all know, NCDD has always relied on membership dues and donations to create a significant amount of our programs and staffing. It's really key to supporting us financially. So we encourage everyone who is able to consider supporting NCDD through member or partner dues. You can learn more about partnership at the link that's going to be dropped in the chat right now. We also want to make sure that we give a very big thank you to everyone who made a gift to NCDD along with your registration for today's event. More than 30 of you have contributed a gift to NCDD in recognition of our 20 years as a community. Thank you so much. If you haven't given a gift, but you would like to, we will drop that link in the chat as well. Again, your support is so very appreciated.
The work that Shannon referenced is work that many of us will recommit to doing because it remains critically important to our communities, nations, and our world. We recently asked our broader network to share what they are also recommitting to in their work. We recognize this brief photo project represents only a small portion of the whole network, and we'll continue to ask folks to contribute to this project as we move forward. We'd also like to ask you all to share what work or habit you'll recommit to going forward now in the chat. So if you're on chat, if you're online, if you're in the room and on your phone, what are you going to recommit to? Blow up our chat here, folks. People are thinking hard and deeply, I can tell. Here they come. I love these. Hard work of building cultures of belonging, providing people with experiences of healthy, whole communities. These are amazing. Challenging NCDD to be more energetic and pushing our collective wisdom out. Bringing NC dialogue and deliberation skills. Whoa, they're moving fast now. I'm going to let you read them at this point.
Several good ones about youth and students. Love to see
Yes.
that. Absolutely. Happy to see that we're thinking more about our young people, thinking about our democracy, as well as just the practices. Other folks thinking about powerful questions. I'm sure somewhere in there is thinking more about inclusivity and equity in our work. I know that's been something a lot of us have been thinking about, not just recently, but for a long time.
Absolutely. So while you're finishing up your thoughts, and we're going to continue to collect these, you notice on the screen, you see a design here that says, I recommit to the power of good conversation. That graphic is just been produced into stickers, which will be given to every person who donates. So if this sounds a little bit like a telethon right now, consider that it is. You'll get a sticker if you donate. But we think those are great because those will allow you remind you of our collective efforts and be a way to display your support and commitment to our community of practice. And as we've mentioned, when we've said this many times, NCDD truly is a community of practice. It's made up not only of individuals, but it's also bolstered by our connections to other organizations that share the same commitments and interests as we do. And one of these partners is the Kettering Foundation, and Valerie Lemmy is going to share her thoughts on Kettering's collaborative relationship with NCDD. In just a second, she will.
Good day. I'm Valerie Lemmy, Director of Exploratory Research at the Kettering Foundation and Program Officer for much of our collaborative research with NCDD. To my dear colleagues Courtney and Kiva, the NCDD staff, members of the Board of Directors, and network practitioners, I offer a hearty congratulations on 20 years of leadership and advocacy in advancing dialogue and deliberation. You are the go-to organization for information about engaging with the public in ways that encourage collaboration and cooperation, resulting in a term coined by Eleanor Ostrom in the co-production of public work. The work essential if our democracy is to work as it should. Over the past 20 years, the Kettering Foundation has tapped into your network of innovators in a variety of ways, including sharing your work with members of Congress, federal executives, and policymakers in Washington, D.C., as part of our annual discussion on the power of a deliberative public voice. I especially remember the maps we shared that showed where NCDD network members were located and where they had convened deliberative dialogues. Washington was indeed impressed to learn so much was happening at the local level in support of democracy and democratic practices. As a member of NCDD, I have also taken advantage of your excellent webinar series, email information exchanges, and on many occasions, I have made specific requests of members for assistance to support the Foundation's research. I am honored to be a member of the community of practice. I continue to learn and grow personally and professionally from the work done by members of the network, which you have kept viable, relevant, and agile. You have always welcomed new people, organizations, and ideas, and impressed upon us all the importance of demonstrating the courage of our convictions through precept and example to do something that fosters robust civic life. NCDD has been an important leader, resource, convener, innovator, and collaborator in the democracy space. Importantly, the staff and network of members and organizations have freely shared their knowledge, insights, and research. Congratulations on doing such an awesome job. Go well, my friends. I look forward to another 20 years of your work in the service of democracy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much to Valerie. Valerie highlighted some of the efforts that have really contributed to our collective understanding of this work. We've also been working to help create a broader understanding of the practices and applications of dialogue and deliberation. Our next speaker is Samantha Oakley of the American Library Association's Public Programs Office, who's going to share some thoughts about our work that we've been doing together.
My name is Samantha Oakley. I am a project director with the American Library Association's Public Programs Office. My office has had the fortune of working with NCDD since 2017 on our Libraries Transforming Communities initiative. The project seeks to strengthen libraries' roles as core community leaders and change agents by developing and distributing tools and support for librarians to engage with their communities in new ways. In our work together, NCDD has been a valued thought partner and subject matter expert for developing training and resources for librarians to help them engage their communities in dialogues of important issues and topics. On behalf of myself and my colleagues in the ALA Public Programs Office, congratulations to NCDD on 20 years and wishing you many more.
Many thanks to Samantha and to ALA for their partnership over all of these years. It's been a wonderful experience for us, and I know for numerous members of ours who've worked with us on these initiatives to connect with libraries who are passionate about engaging with their communities. We look forward to continuing that work and really looking to support libraries as they create and become even stronger community hubs for conversations that matter. So we've reached the portion of our program where we will renew our passion and purpose, and we'll talk about ways that we can reconnect as a community. First, we're going to welcome Susan Clark, author of Slow Democracy, to share a message of appreciation.
When I went to my first NCDD conference, this was years ago, and my son, he was really little at the time, he just could not get his head around it. He was like, "You're gonna go to a meeting to talk about talking?" Yes, and it was great. I am deeply appreciative of this vibrant network of dialogue and deliberation practitioners and scholars. NCDD was crucial to our work when my co-author and I wrote Slow Democracy, and NCDD continues to inform me with wisdom and innovative models and stories from the field. And I'm always sending folks to NCDD's website and events for the super valuable tools and connections that they can find there. All of us know more than any of us. And that's why these skills are so important now more than ever. So yeah, you go, NCDD.
Thank you, Susan. She mentioned, and if you didn't hear it, I want to repeat, that all of us know more than any of us. And that's just a beautiful way to phrase this. This is an important reminder for us all and for our broader world. Our knowledge and wisdom is increased by talking with one another, making sense of our world, and deciding how we should act. We'd now like to share a message from past NCDD board chair, Martine Carcassonne, from the Center for Public Deliberation at Colorado State University. He's got a number of fans here in the room here at NCA. He's not with us this year, so we'll hear from Martine.
Hello, this is Martin Carkson, Communication Studies Professor at Colorado State University and the Director of the CSU Center for Public Deliberation. I just want to say really thanks and certainly congratulations to NCDD for a wonderful 20 years. I first connected with NCDD way back in 2006 at the conference in San Francisco. And I remember it didn't take me very long once I got there just to realize I had finally found my people, right? People that are passionate about democracy, passionate about solving problems, passionate about helping their community, and helping, focused on bringing people together across perspectives to deal with their shared problems more effectively. People that are frustrated with our political system, frustrated with the usual means of engagement that unfortunately tend to bring out the worst in human nature and make it harder for us to take on those issues. So NCDD was really a revelation for my work to connect. It was so exciting to connect to people, across different academic departments in many ways, but then also beyond academia, practitioners that are doing this work, volunteers that are passionate about this work kind of going on. So NCDD has really been a big part of my life, all the way back then, a big part of my students' life. I've had the joy of introducing so many students to NCDD, often bringing, 15, 20 students to the conference every other year, and just, seeing them connect and seeing them have conversations and see that this is something that you can focus on in your life. So I'm really excited to finally get back together and see everyone next fall and introduce my students to it. I've had the honor of being on the board for NCD for a few years, and then I was the board chair for several years after that, and just looking for this organization to keep on building and keep on making a difference as people see the need for us to think differently about politics and come together across perspective to deal with our shared problems more productively. So NCDD, kind of happy birthday, and I'm looking forward to seeing what all we can accomplish for the next 20 years.
Thanks so much to Martine, and Martine is in the Zoom room with us, and Martine brought so many of us into this connection with NCDD, including myself, and I'll be forever grateful for that. He touched upon the value of coming together in person and how impactful those moments are for folks, especially when they connect with NCDD for the first time. So if you haven't been to an NCDD conference, they're unlike any other conference you've ever been to. They're hands-on, they're interactive, the connections that you make are invaluable. Martine alluded to one such opportunity to do so coming up in the fall, which leads us to a special announcement that we mentioned in our outreach for this event. So buckle up for the announcement.
It is great to be here at NCDD.
We're able to bring community wherever we go.
Is leading the way and engaging dialogue and transformative experiences that revitalize relationships.
Building relationships and looking together at what we can do to heal our society.
This is, I think, a subset of the larger question of the complete civic infrastructure.
I also believe that by sharing our testimonies, we can connect to each other in deep and powerful and transcendent ways.
The energy that you all bring, the true excitement that you all have.
All right, who's excited? We are so excited. We have been looking forward to finally making this official announcement and sharing with you all the dates for our next conference, our first in 5 years, if you can believe it. It's the longest we've ever had to go. Thank you, COVID. But we are thrilled. We are thrilled to finally be able to say we are coming back together October 13th to 15th, 2023 in Atlanta, Georgia. In a moment, I'm going to show you some cool stuff about the conference because I just published, as we were getting the event started, our conference page on the website. So ncdd.org/NCDD2023, if you want to bookmark that now, is going to be your go-to place for updates and information as we continue to put our plans together. we are going to be hosting this conference at the Crown Plaza Atlanta Perimeter. And I'm really excited about this location. And actually, before I say anything else, let me just pull up my screen real quick and show you a couple things. So bear with me 2 seconds here. Here we go. All right, so here is our brand new, just published conference page. The National Conference on Dialogue and Deliberation is back. As I mentioned, this will be your spot to go for all your information, but here's what I really want to show you. So as I mentioned, we are going to be in the lovely Crown Plaza Atlanta Perimeter. These are some photos from the location. This is a really beautiful place. It's a really gorgeous space. You can see the outdoor space here. Hopefully that's showing up on your computers as seamlessly as it is on mine. But this hotel has basically everything that goes into a quintessential NCDD conference. It has loads of space for us to meet in small conversations as well as large conversations. It has beautiful outdoor space, including walking trails for those who want to spend some time outside in nature, and not just all of your time inside the hotel. Although trust me, you could spend all your time in this hotel. And the best part is we will have the run of the place. NCDD will be the only event that is going on while we are there. So it really is going to create the atmosphere and the intimacy for us to have this opportunity to really reconnect with one another and have a good time, as well as do all of the important work that we need to do. So we are so excited about that. We're also excited to be hosting the conference in Atlanta. This is a new city for us to host an event in. It's going to give us a chance to build up our network in the Southeast. Every time we hold a conference, it's a chance for us to really build the network in that regional area that we're holding the conference in. So we're really excited about that. And I know some folks who are down in the Southeast US that we're going to be reaching out to help us to do that. And it's just going to be a wonderful opportunity. It's also going to be a great spot for us to highlight some local efforts and have some of the important conversations that we need to have as a community of practice. So in early 2023, we will be reaching out to start learning more from you all about what you'd like to see and do when we're together. And of course, as always, asking if you're interested in being a part of that conference planning process. So keep an eye out for messages from me about that. I also, because, you know, this is a little bit of our little telethon today, we also want to let you know about a special opportunity that we've decided to offer our folks for this conference. So as you know, as we all know, inflation has impacted virtually everything. And of course, as a result, NCDD is going to have to raise our registration rates. We haven't done that in at least 8 years of conferences. Or at least in the last 8 years, I should say, going back to either 2014 or 2016, somewhere around there. So we're going to have to just naturally raise the rate. However, we wanted to make sure that our members get the very best deal as always. And we are offering a special rate to folks who renew their membership by the end of 2022. So in the next 6 weeks or so. So for those who renew or join, you're just a current member as of the end of 2022, you are going to get the lowest possible rate on your conference registration. So all of our members will get a deep discount on registration. We always do that. But for those who are signed up and their member dues is in good standing by the end of 2022, you will get even more of a discount when we launch our registration, which we are planning to do again in early 2023. So if you're wondering, what's my status, you're unsure, reach out to Joy, our fabulous office manager, joy@ncdd.org. She can let you know exactly what your status is and give you any information that you might need. All right, so as we start to look forward to 2023 and everything that we can do together, we're going to hear from one more special guest, Norma Ramos at the Institute for Policy and Civic Engagement at the University of Illinois, Chicago.
Congratulations to the National Coalition for Dialogue and Deliberation on your 20 years of collective impact. I'm Norma Ramos from Chicago, Illinois, and thrilled to serve as a board member and share with you all NCDD's promise to reflect, recommit, renew, and reconnect to our community of practice in the year ahead. As we put together our plans for 2023, we look forward to sharing more updates, information, resources, and opportunities for engagement in the near future, including opportunities for you to connect with one another locally as we prepare to come together as a larger community in the near future. I'm excited to share that news with you, and stay tuned.
So as Norma alluded to, NCDD is working to help create new opportunities for our network to gather together locally before we get together in Atlanta next fall. Norma, along with other board members, have been putting together plans that will maybe enable you to host local conversations, which will bring you together with others in your area to explore topics related to the 4 R's that we talked about earlier: renew, recommit, something, and reconnect. Yeah, there was another one in there.
Reflect and reconnect.
Thank you. I missed the whole reflect. You'd think I might have come up with these. Who knows?
I was gonna say, they're only your idea, Lori, whatever.
Anyway, these are good ideas. And the idea is that these small conversations that you have, thinking about what we can do in the next 20 years together as a network, what are the challenges facing us? We'll take these small conversations through to a big plenary session at the conference where we can gather all of the things that you've been talking about. So we're really excited. There'll be easy things for you to do. We hope that in your area, you might be a convener and bring just some people together. Can be living room conversations, kitchen table conversations, something more formal, but just gather some people in your area. So yeah, don't reach out to Norma yet. The materials are coming, Carolyn. I'm so excited that you're excited. I see in the chat, but we are going to be putting that set of information together very soon. And we hope you're already gathering with others in your community about these issues, like the folks here in the Public Dialogue and Deliberation Division, which I'm with right now at the National Conference or National Communication Association here in New Orleans. So we encourage you to stay tuned to the NCDD blog, social media, and listservs for more information on these opportunities in the new year. So we have one more chance for you to participate today. Blow up our chat again. We want to hear something you're excited about NCDD 2023. So what are you excited about? Let us know.
Not that we haven't given you any time to think about it yet, but when you think about getting together again, what excites you? Okay, Kristen hit it. I think that's the one, right? Yeah. Getting to actually see one another in person again. I think for me, and I know for others, as we've been starting to talk about this, that seems to be the biggest thing, is just being able to be around you all, and the community that we can create when we're in the same space together is fantastic.
And just even seeing so many of you on this call is just amazing. Just we're saying hellos back and forth from people. So Becky Townsend, yes, hello to everybody in our room here from Becky. She's on the call. So okay. Rashawn Bliss is here, says hello. So just so many of you, so great to see all of you here today, and for all of you to go with us into our next 20 years.
Absolutely. Yeah, and can we just give appreciation to all the fabulous folks here? I'm sorry, Lori and I were, of course, as you can guess, making sure we hit all of our notes and all of our videos and everything, but here we are with a little bit of time to make sure that we appreciate and see you all. Maybe we should take ourselves off spotlight so we can actually just see everyone in gallery view. If you want to put yourself
that's here
and see this fabulous group. Yes. Hey, everybody in person. It's like wonderful to see you. And it's great to see everyone who's with us on Zoom as well. I can see lots of folks that I personally know and have worked with a lot over the years, former board members. We've got Barb Simonetti, who's our former board chair. Love you, Barb. Martine, our former board chair. We have current board folks. We have Betty Knighton, who's actually going to be leaving the board soon, and I'm very sad about that. But Betty's a joy to work with, and I'm sure many of you already know that. We have Diane Miller, who used to be on the board, and I haven't seen you in forever, Diane. It's so good to see you. Martha McCoy and Pat Scully are here. It is amazing to see you both. I hope you are well. Tim Bonneman, it's been a while. Nice to see you. Ted Wetzel, I just had dinner with last week, but it's good to see you again too. Oh my goodness. Terry Amsler is here. I don't mean to like list everyone, but here I go listing everyone.
Yeah, this is great.
It is so wonderful to see all of your faces. It's been a bit, we have been busy working on so many plans that we haven't had as many Zoom calls and events recently. And I can say it is great to be here with you all again because it's been a little bit. Wonderful.
And don't worry, we're going to be capturing all the chat, all your great ideas. You may see your words featured on our NCDD blog or on some of our marketing. So thank you for contributing all of this. Some really good questions coming up too about things we can think about for conversations that we need to lean into when we get to Atlanta. So this is all really good fodder. We'll be saving all this. All the videos that went into this today are going to be available on our website. So if there's something about the history of NCDD that you could share with people that you're trying to get funding from to explain what you're doing, these could be useful to you as well. So all of this will be available to you online. And before we start to wrap up, I want to say thank you to Courtney and Kiva because they really pulled every string to pull this together. You have no idea how hard the three of us have been working, but particularly the two of them to pull this event off and get the videos. And thank you to Courtney's husband, Ryan, for helping with the video production. Couldn't have done it without him. So if you're wondering who did that, that's who did that. So really just an amazing collaborative effort. And I'm so glad that you all are here with me in person and online to share this. So thank you. And Kiva actually flew to New Orleans to help us with this so that I didn't have to run tech by myself.
Always a group effort, as you all know. Yeah. Awesome. We have a couple minutes and I have just a couple closing comments, but I just want to feel free to let folks unmute and say hi if you want to, because we have the opportunity to do that.
Go for it. I wouldn't all unmute in this room together. That might be really tough.
You can come around to the side of the screen and say something. Yeah.
And nobody's unmuting. Isn't that funny?
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to connect with you all after such a long break. And so is my cat. She won't leave me alone. So I'm going to again.
We love cats at NCDD and dogs, all animals. It's good to see you, Rashawn.
I just want to say congratulations, NCDD. It has been wonderful to work with many of you over the years, and I'm looking forward to the next 20.
Thanks, Eva.
Love seeing everyone's faces. Look forward to the years ahead. Thank y'all.
And my name is Ben Graham in Arcata, California at Cal Poly Humboldt. I'm working with the Petaluma Fairgrounds Project, a random sample of 36 community members who are deciding the fate of the fairgrounds. Very wonderful deliberative democracy project. And I'm a newcomer, so I'm a psychology professor. I have been for a long time, but yeah, I'm excited to become part of this and part of the community. Psychology majors are large majors on college campuses across the country, and I think psychology could do a whole lot more of taking interest in deliberative processes like this. So thank you for being here. Congratulations on 20 years.
Thank you, Ben. It's so wonderful to have you here with us. And I have to selfishly say, as someone who just left Petaluma a year ago, I am so jealous that I missed out on that opportunity. But I'd love to hear more about it soon. You're in a wonderful community of folks. And as someone who studied social work, I would love to talk more about psychology and the study of psychology and how all of that can come together. And I know there are others here that would love to talk about that too. So more to come.
Lots of things to talk about in Atlanta. Lots and lots.
So Courtney, it's Barb, and I would just like to say congratulations because I am remembering the very first time I walked into an NCDD meeting, and like Martina, I'd found my tribe, but I also found an energy and a joy and a generosity and a collaboration that was so unique and exciting and sustaining. And I don't know how you did it, girl, but you've managed to keep it going for 20 years and keep it fresh. Bravo.
Well, I've only kept it going for a couple years. But yeah, thank you, Barb. Barb and I first met because of NCDD in 2009 in a coffee shop with Sandy. And it's
Boston.
been, yes, it's
Or
been
Cambridge.
wonderful ever since. So
Yeah, and I just want to say hi. It's amazing to see everybody's faces like this. Thank you for playing that awkward video at the beginning of me speaking. But I'm in Boston now, and I'm in the cannabis industry, and feel free to be in touch, everybody. I hope to make it to that conference. That'd be amazing to be there in person.
yes, please, Sandy, we'd love to see you.
Well, we are getting near time, and if there's anything I do is I always leave people wanting more. So I try and always sign off on time, even when I facilitate. And maybe people want to come back and talk again. So we hope that you'll again talk in local communities. We'll have those materials up soon. Plan on being in Atlanta. Make sure you renew your membership before the end of 2022, so you're going to get the deepest discount. If you're an organization that can support NCDD, we need support as we go into a big year, bringing a lot of people back together in person, and we'd love that support. This is truly a collaborative organization, and I just want to thank every single one of you for being part of it.
Yes. Thanks, everybody. It has been a joy to be here with you for this hour, and we will look to lots of new opportunities for us to join together in the new year and as we get ready for NCDD 2023. So much love and care to you all, and we will see you all soon. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.